podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Social Media Derby. We've got a great episode this week. We'll obviously be covering the festive Christmas and New Year period matches. Both Arsenal, United, Chelsea and Liverpool all had 2 fixtures for us to go through each. And then we'll be previewing this weekend's fixtures as well. The first fixture in the New Year for a bunch of us. I think Liverpool City also played after Jan 1st. But for the Arsenal and United lads that are on the pod this week, our first game in 2026. But before we get into it, for those watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment and share if you can. For those listening on Spotify, Apple, any of the podcasting platforms, please follow, give us a 5-star review. And of course, the views expressed in this podcast are just for entertainment purposes and don't reflect the opinions of any of us beyond just football. How are you guys doing? It's the quizzing lads as well, minus Johns. How are you, man, doing? How's the new year treating you?
All good. Trying to bounce back after that quiz, that diabolical performance on the quiz. So, took a couple of days to recover from that. The mental scarring that was. But we're here. New year, new me, as they say.
We got the winner as well. Winner of the quiz. Razor, what are you saying, bro?
Santi Quizola. Santi Quizola. Thank you very much, lads. I'm very happy to be back, Yeah, it feels great. 2026, Arsenal top of the league. Whew. Feels beautiful. I've got my it looks like a TFL mug, but it says Mind the Gap, so I call it my Tottenham mug. It's wonderful. It's a great day, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was definitely a good game. Week 19 was a good round for you lot. 4 points clear now, but before we get into the title challenges and then the absolute disgraces that are United and Liverpool, we'll start off this week's pod on probably the biggest disgrace, Chelsea Football Club. So Reece is not here, so we're going to have to crash out on his behalf. But yeah, in terms of on the pitch, where we'll start first, losing 2-1 at home to Villa, which is not the biggest crime. Villa have been a really strong team, unless they're playing Arsenal, and have won, 11 or 12 games in a row? But they absolutely flopped that because they should have been, don't know what you man think, but they should have been like 3 or 4-0 up in the first half. They actually slapped Villa up and then proceeded to find a way to lose. And then Bournemouth at home. I know that's a tricky game. They managed to draw as well. They didn't quite reach 4-4 levels, but boy, after that first half, I thought it was going to reach 4-4 because they were 2-2 in like half an hour. But yeah, ended up ending 2-2. So only getting 1 point out of 2 home games. Even we did better than that. So that stinks. And then they've managed to sack their manager, Enzo Maresca, or mutual termination or whatever they're saying in the statement. He's left the club, and there's lots of reasons to get into. But I always start with you, mate. Did you watch both the games? What did you make of both of Chelsea's festive matches?
I think I saw the game of Bournemouth. I'm struggling. For some reason, I'm struggling to remember the Villa game. It feels like ages ago. But I remember, obviously, I was happy that they lost, obviously. But yeah, no, I think the Bournemouth game, I think it was obviously, back and forth. I think it just shows their defensive fragilities again, which I think has been a constant. And Bournemouth, I think, Bournemouth going forward, they could seem to just score goals no matter who they play. So I don't think it's not like a slight on them. But yeah, I think they had chances in that game. Bournemouth had chances again. I'm not going to go with your XG or I don't know what it was, but I saw Bournemouth with many. Bournemouth had pretty good chances, which I think they could have scored from. So I think it was an even game. And I think, as you said, the fact it was, I think, 2-2 in about 30 minutes. I think, everyone's kind of getting flashbacks to that 4-4. And then the second half kind of petered down a bit. But yeah, no, I think Chelsea, just all over the place, and I think it kind of shows what happened after the game. Obviously, a couple of days after with the Maresca news, but yeah, I don't think they're hitting form. You've still got I think Palmer's obviously still like not back to his best, I guess. Obviously, you got and then Enzo annoyingly finally scores a goal after taking on the fantasy team. which made me very mad. And then, it's just tough, man. But yeah, I think for them, it's not tough for me to watch Chelsea suffer. Again, as I said, like brings me great joy. But I think they're going to be in a bit of disarray. And yeah, watching Trevor Chalobah head the ball to the back post for Bournemouth's equaliser again. That guy is she's an absolute shocking defender. And it does. Yeah, I don't know how you can spend that much money and still have him as your starting centre back. So there's a lot of things to dissect. And I do really wish Reece was here to crash out, because I think it would have been a glorious viewing to see.
Yeah, I mean, that first game, just because it is a bit fuzzy because it was before Christmas, isn't it? Or just after Christmas, sorry. They absolutely peppered Villa, man. In that first half, they were all over them. And then Unai made the double substitution of bringing on Ollie Watkins. And then...
yes, the Watkins. Now you said Watkins, that brings it back to me. Yeah, I remember now. There we go. Yeah. So,
but those two home games, like maybe the Villa one is one where they would accept dropping points or, maybe losing might be a stretch to accept, but I could kind of think they wouldn't be that angry with, but you'd definitely expect them to come away with at least one dub after two home games. Bournemouth as well. You would expect that they would be able to get a win, but now I don't think they can have too many complaints. Maybe the Villa one, but then again, they had time for Watkins, so to handle it, and they didn't quite turn it around. So yeah, Razor.
And I just remembered. Saying Villa was my correct score game. I don't know how I forgot that. That brought me back to. I'm pretty sure I bet Villa 2-1. So, but there we go. Mystic Io strikes again, as they say.
He's back. Razor, what did you make of the games, bro?
Mystic Io is correct, I feel. I also got a correct score on that game, if we're counting. I'm not counting. I resigned myself to the mid-table. I resigned myself to the mid-table of the prediction league, and I'm enjoying just insulting Kem and John T interchangeably whenever I pass one of them. It's a nice life.
It is.
I think contextually, like a loss to Villa, I think both of those games are probably slightly disappointing results. That was bare peak, man. I was sat here listening to Io. Thank you. I was sat here listening to Io talk for time. No sneeze. As soon as man flipped it to me, yeah. Anyway, I think both of those results are slightly disappointing, obviously, but I don't think, if we're being really real, I don't think Chelsea and their up and down and consistent performances this season can really be too mad at either of them on paper. I think it's probably the context of what's going on at the club, and the fashion in which these results are happening. Because again, like I said, losing to Villa, like we said, Villa have been strong. They've had a great campaign so far after a rocky start. They really picked it up. They're probably one of the most, if not the most informed team in the division right now. Do you know what I'm saying? So losing to them, you got to charge it to the game. I said it when it was Arsenal. I can't suddenly turn around and be like, Chelsea should have beaten them. It's disingenuous. But realistically, I think the Bournemouth result is one where you start to see okay, is this what we thought it was? But again, it still goes along with their line of being inconsistent this season. I just think all of this around the uncertainty within the club, I think that might have been reflecting in some of the game where they haven't been able to get the magic out. And when you see some of the stuff, I know you probably want to talk about it in a bit, or get onto it. But when you see some of the stuff about the way in which the management and the team and different power struggles are going on, I think they probably did all right, considering, just trying to be fair in it. That sounds like a lot of stuff. There's always been a lot of stuff going on. They've had the bomb squad. They've got blue, clear, lake, water, whatever their man are doing. Flipping, just buying and selling players every 10 minutes. I've always said this, and Reece was insulting me, but I said Chelsea's probably a hard place for a player or a manager to go and feel settled. Do you know what I mean? And I think considering that, and considering the episode of the soap opera that was playing out in the background while this stuff was going on, I don't even think they're bad results for them, to be honest. I think they did all right.
I mean, I think the I think one draw in this batch would be semi-acceptable, but I think to only take 1 point from 2 home games, that stinks, man. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be livid. I'm livid.
If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be disappointed. I'd be disappointed. I nearly did Mr. Kyle behavior for both of them. I went 2-1 for the Villa game, and then I went 3-2 for the Bournemouth game. I thought Chelsea were gonna leak goals. Like I said, Bournemouth seem really like capable going forward this season. I always saw them leaking goals, but I thought they would have a little bit extra in the tank, a little Esteval special, something like that. Cole Palmer back on form, you know what I mean? Something just to be the difference. And that's what I'm saying. If that's actually what my expectation and what a lot of Chelsea fans' expectations have been for them this year, oh, we're not in a title race, we're just going for Champions League. You know what I mean? If that's their expectations and that's what they're used to seeing, I don't know how you can then turn around and be like, we're livid. We didn't beat Bournemouth. Like it wasn't Wolves. It wasn't West Ham. It wasn't Manchester United. It was Bournemouth. Like, allow it.
Yeah, I agree with you though. I think the expectation was that they were going to be
Reece doesn't agree with me.
Yeah, I think no. But I think most of us went Chelsea tight win, and then a few. I think Aya was the only one that got the correct score on that. Went tight Aston Villa win. I think
say it with more oomph, Antony. More oomph,
the only
please.
one who got the correct score on that.
More oomph, please. Let's make sure we say it louder.
You can use oomph when it's correct. You weren't the only one who got the correct score on that. Silence.
But I mean, that game was a bit more like we kind of expected it to go maybe either way because Villa are actually a really good team if they're not playing Arsenal. And then
stop
Bournemouth
saying that.
We
beating us this season.
I know, but that one was they nicked that game, right? I actually think for all the teams that played against Villa, the big teams in the title race, I think you guys have handled yourselves the best. Even if you hadn't, just pammed them 4-1. I think the 2-1 game was a last minute. You guys should have cleared it about 5 times, and they tried to meme the hell out of you afterwards, which you got your get back on in the last game. But all right, we've talked enough about Chelsea, considering that Reece is not here. But let's talk about the off-field stuff, the Maresca stuff, because Chelsea on the pitch, they're uninspiring. I don't want us to waste time on that. But off the pitch, Maresca's gone. I don't know about you, man. I called it on the pod a few, it's one of my few things I've called that have actually ended up being somewhat semi-true without throwing Spurs and all kinds of different teams in title races. Maresca's gone. The leaks have been endless, lads. I'm sure you guys have read some of the stuff. It seems like both sides are leaking stuff everywhere. So apparently on the Chelsea side, Maresca lacks maturity, they've said, which I feel like is mad harsh. They've come straight for his character and stuff like that and said he lacks maturity. They've also said that he was out here chatting to City and Juventus multiple times, and also that he's been basically negligent with the players and playing them when they are at risk of injury. And on the Maresca side, he's come out and said that they're basically giving him no power to do anything. They're dictating who can play in the team. I think you shared it, didn't you, Razor? That they're got to keep the transfer value on certain players, and that's why they've got to play certain players at certain times. And also, obviously, he mentioned the rebuttal for the City and Juve stuff was that Chelsea have been chatting to their managers as well. And I think during the Club World Cup, they were tapping up De Zerbi still, and there were reports that they were trying to get De Zerbi. So, where do you sit on this, and do you think Maresca's been hard done by? And what do you make of this Liam Rosenior stuff? Because underwhelming.
Yeah, I think as a Chelsea fan, I think you just have to accept your club isn't run like a traditional club. So you just need to accept that things that most clubs wouldn't do, you guys will do. And yeah, I think some of the leaks, I think it's crazy that he was talking to other teams, or I think I read as well that he was telling City that he'd be ready to take over whenever Pep goes. But I guess, as you said, if Chelsea is speaking to other managers, then why shouldn't the managers kind of prepare themselves for the inevitable sacking that's going to come when you're a Chelsea manager? So I think in both regards, they're both in the wrong. But Yeah, it seems like his hands were tied. I think he tried what he could do with what he was given. I think it's mad that I think they're saying that he had to play players to maintain their transfer value, which I guess makes sense why he played Garnacho so much, because I don't think I think there's a lot of players I think in that team that he wouldn't wanted to play, or if he actually had control of the team, I think it looked a lot different. But yeah, I think this is what Chelsea kind of got themselves into. I think this is what the ownership wanted. And I guess if you're a manager, this is what you're coming into. So I think with Liam Rossini potentially going there, he might just be a yes man. He might just accept everything that they're going to tell him to do. He's just going to kind of just bite his lip. Not really it's a big job for him to get. And so it's an upgrade. So even if it is just for one season or 2 seasons, I guess he puts his name out there. He gets experience at a top club. He can use that going forward. But yeah, I don't think any manager goes to Chelsea thinking they're going to be there for longer than 2-3 years, really, because the way they turn over players is the exact same way they turn over managers. I think this is their 4th manager since Todd Bowles come in, isn't it, or something like that. So yeah, clearly stability is not at the forefront of Chelsea's mind right now, and I think being a Chelsea fan definitely comes with ups and downs. But you know what? They were talking about being champions of Europe or champions of the world, I believe, in the summer. So maybe this is kind of what happens, and this is kind of karma coming back to them, where they were kind of getting a bit too high off their own supply in the summer, and now, it's all come home to roost, and the suffering that is being kind of destined for them is now coming back. And yeah, man, their reign of terror. It seems like it will not happen for a long time. Fingers crossed, because we suffered under the thumb of that Chelsea regime for too long, being Arsenal fans. So this is good to see them suffer even longer.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, that they've changed ownership, but the thing that stayed consistent is they're trigger happy with managers. Like this was the thing with Roman. But at least I guess the difference, a lot of Chelsea fans, mates of mine who've spoken about it so far, have all said at least under Roman they were like winning big things, and they would go out and sign proper players, and they were ruthless in nature because it was based on winning the big trophies. And if you didn't achieve that, you were gone. A bit like kind of mini Real Madrid-esque. If you didn't win stuff, you're out of it. But this new ownership, and I can see Reece in the chat saying Chelsea will never win anything with Dad Mugabe running the club. Man's Lake out. Oh man, I wish Reece was on this pod. Honestly,
that's good.
He'll be crashing. We'll save his real crashing for next week. He could argue that this ownership have done very little, right? Winning the Conference League with the B team playing all the way to the final it's not a massive achievement. I know they said now they've completed the set and all that, but yeah, that's like the shittest one in all the set, right? So it's not something to be shouting about. And then the World Club Cup, I think that's a grey area competition because we don't really know what it is right now, but you certainly can't go crazy about it. It's not the Champions League or the Premier League. So they're winning the C and D list trophies, and they're still behaving in a similar way. But what do you make of it, Razor? Because I know we were chatting off stage, and you had a lot to say about it. What do you make of this situation with Maresca?
I kind of feel like you're right, drawing the parallel between the Roman era, but as you pointed out, the difference then was it still felt a bit deep. Like you felt like there were managers that had a thing going, and they were going to build something at the club, but it was very much results and performance based. And I feel like now what we are seeing a lot more now is this kind of you're not doing what I want, but bye now. And it's kind of similar to the situation at Forest that we had towards the start of the season, where it was just this is not necessarily a manager that's doing badly. I think compared to, we had the infamous question on the quiz about win percentages of Chelsea managers in the Prem and whatnot. But I think I was reading an Athletic article. It said he was there for 92 games. I think he lost 21 and won something between like he won like over 50 in it. So it's like he's winning the majority of the games. Like your employer, like obviously knows what the situation is. So this is not to do with performance. That's the thing in my mind. This is like a hierarchical issue in it, and I think it's rare that I find myself as football changes more, I find myself empathizing with the managers more. I think like Chelsea and them like being very harsh, but it being performance based was the beginning of it, and that now it's kind of like, well, what do you want man to do? Because he's the gaffer. He's the one who has to sit down in front of like the media. He's the one who people are asking questions about. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, we all criticized him. We were pretty heavily critical of the choice to include people like Sterling and stuff in the bomb squad and like how that affects players and their mental health and stuff beyond that. And then you've got essentially like he's not in a position to take that responsibility and do all of those things. So I can imagine it becoming frustrating. But I think the problem, you know, when we talk about like the manager head coach thing, I think the issue here is we probably need to make a new thing for whatever Clear Lake want their gaffer to be. Like, is it even a head coach? Because a head coach gets to decide like player time and stuff. Do you know what I mean? A head coach will have overall decisions on some of those bits. They might not be overseeing transfers, but they're gonna have some level of discourse. Do you know what I'm saying? And like control there. And it doesn't seem like Maresca had any of that. And then obviously them turning around and being like, "Yo, he's talking to other clubs." Like I completely agree with what Ayo said. Like, bro, you're not just the Premier League club. You're the Premier League club for firing managers, basically. Yeah. Let man chat to City. Also, like City's his old thing. They're gonna chat. Whether you know about it or not know about it, they're gonna chat. You think if they were considering him to replace Pep potentially, that he's not gonna shut up, man? Because you're at Chelsea and you never know when you're gonna get your hook slung. You know what I mean? So I think if I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be absolutely flipping exhausted because squad changes every 10 minutes. Now the manager's changing. You're going to have another period of like upheaval and whatnot. But I think you touched upon that, what's his name? Rafinha, the guy at Strasbourg. I think what Chelsea and Clear Lake and them man are doing with Strasbourg is disgusting, bro. I think it's so nasty. Because like you're acting like it's manager mode and you're in control of two teams on like EAFC or whatever they call it nowadays, brother. And it's like, imagine being like a Strasbourg fan. It's like they're taking our players, they're changing stuff in terms of how our clubs run. And now mid-season, because they decided that their gaffer that was actually performing decently isn't doing what they want to do anymore, they're just going to come and take ours. I'll be absolutely livid. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, like I said, this isn't someone that you see being the Chelsea manager. Not that many people look like they could be, but this isn't someone that you see being the Chelsea manager for 4 seasons. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you're going to take him away from a club where he seems to be having an impact, seems to be getting on well with like the fan base, the hierarchy and the setup. And then what, is he going to go back to Strasbourg in 2 years? I doubt it. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really basically Chelsea FC are bad for football. They're bad for players. I referred to them as the gulag before. They got me feeling sorry for management, former Leicester City and City management at that. Do you know what I mean? So that's how you know that these men are just not good for football. I wish Reece was here so I could like hear him talk about how he still finds joy in putting on that jersey. But yeah, sad day, to be honest. I feel like the real losers in this situation. Maresca's going to be fine. He's probably going to get the City job. It kind of looks like when Pep decides to go wherever he's going. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit nasty for Strasbourg, and I feel like they've been the real victims of this Clear Lake venture capital bullshit project that they've been running.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I don't know about the Maresca to City stuff. Still blows my mind a little bit because I'm like, he's done decent for them, but we're talking about in recent years the most winningest team with probably the second best manager in Prem history. Probably could be the best manager.
He is the best manager. Let it go.
No, relax, man.
Let it go.
It's not true. That's beside the point. Is that Maresca shouldn't be the next one, in my opinion. Like, you can say he's on the short list and do whatever because of the links. I mean, it's not like he was a player there either. He was the manager of the B team for a little bit. Like, I just find the whole thing baffling for me. It's got to be agent talk, because if Maresca replaces City, they're finished after Guardiola. That's not the guy they should be going to. But he's definitely been done dirty on this. And Rosinha's been done dirty as well, because what I've read is they've basically got him in the vice grip, because if they come and say, look, come to Chelsea, and he says no, they'll say, all right, then pack your bags. You're not Strasbourg manager anymore. Jog on. We'll get someone else. And if he says yes, and he doesn't feel ready, he'll come in. Premier League will probably eat him alive. And then where does he go after that? He drops down to a lower level, probably even lower than Strasbourg and, whatever level he was slowly trying to build up. And so if I was his agent, I don't know what I'd be trying to angle to try and get a different move somewhere else. Because if you're trying to, how players these days, like your Bellinghams, your Haalands, have been like really meticulous about what their career path is like and pick each club at the next stage. A lot of these young managers have to do the same kind of thing. And if he goes to Chelsea now, he's done for. Like, he's not. I would be very surprised if he comes out of that job alive and like actually survives past, I don't know, maybe even the end of the season, because it's going to be the Wolves are going to be out, and their whole policy doesn't make sense, man. In terms of signing, we go back to the Roman Abramovich and like the Galacticos type approach. These guys are treating managers that way, but then they're buying youngsters, and yet somehow the expectation is what do they want to achieve? Because if they're talking top four, Maresca's not far away from top four and Champions League. So if that's the target, then it's got to be purely what you, man, have said, background stuff, and that's the reason they fired him, which is silly and childish in my opinion. And if it's because they want to win the league or challenge, then don't buy, like, I don't know, 15-year-old Brazilian dons. Like, actually go out and buy proper players and support them with what Roman was doing. So I don't know, that club they're a mess. They're not miles off where my club is at the moment. So yeah, I feel bad for Reece. And yeah, Kem is what's Kem saying here in the chat. He's saying we're in 2026 and he's still stuck in 2013. Yeah.
He's talking about your shout for who the best Premier League manager of all time is.
Yeah. I wish Kem was still stuck in 2013, because Liverpool was shit back then, and that would have been boring. All right, let's go on to the Arsenal stuff then, lads. Io's laughing, you guys all smiling. You're going to continue smiling. 2 games, 2 home games. That's what a title challenger does, to be fair. 2-1 win against Brighton. That one wasn't the most impressive, I will say, but the Aston Villa one, 4-1 at home. It was looking a bit sticky first half. It was probably even, 50-50. Watkins should have scored a big chance, but your boy, Gyökeres, he was stinking it up in that first half as well. So it probably was.
Can you leave him alone, please? Leave him alone.
I'm just stating facts.
Leave him alone, bro. What's your problem?
Second half turns it around. Your boy, Io, not Ethan, Martin Odegaard. What a second half performance. Ran the show. Great assist for Zubimendi. It's 2 back-to-back games because he scored a banger against Brighton as well. So can't fault him. Can't fault mine. 2 very good performances. We'll start with you then, Io. What did you make of the 2 games? And yeah, we're gonna have to run back some Odegaard prop, please.
No, I don't need to run back anything, mate. Please, form is a real thing, all right. So he's good. We're happy. He's like, I'm not gonna be mad. He's on form right now, so I've got to be grateful for that. It makes sense why he's playing. He looks good. Like, the passing's incisive. He's shooting. That's what we asked for last year. He wasn't doing that. He's actually hitting the target. It's not being blocked by the defender. So that is progress. And I think what we did say in the summer, like when we signed Eze, that this should motivate him to kind of regain that talent that he had to kind of get back to that level that we saw a couple of years ago. So maybe that's what's needed. So yeah, I can't fault Odegaard. That game against Brighton wasn't convincing, but it was effective. We came out there with a win. Villa game, that was, I couldn't believe it. I don't think I was able to watch it, but we were just getting the updates, and I was like, how did we get to 4? I just couldn't, I don't think anybody predicted a 4-1 win. And I think it kind of showed, like once we get rolling and momentum comes our way, we're kind of just, and doing that about Declan Rice as well. That was another one. Like that game, there was kind of a lot of things that could have went wrong, but we kind of just showed there's such a level of metal. I won't say much about Mikel Merino. I'll leave that. That boy I won't let him hurt me in midfield anymore. I don't need to be broken. But it was a good game. It was a good game overall. And shout out Odegaard, Zubimendi, what a performance as well. And to be fair, just got to give credit to, what do you call it? What's his name? Big Trossard, man. That boy has been on a tear since this. He's actually been super consistent. Obviously, he has some games where he goes missing, and you kind of want to see Martinelli, but my God, that boy has scored some important goals like for us this year. So we're good, man. And seeing Emery tears, Martinez tears, you can't. There's like, I actually like Emery, but it was to see him kind of crash out that bad in the press conference or in the post-match interview was kind of brilliant to see. And man, we just gotta keep up rolling. But I know as Arsenal fans, we are all very well versed in the fact we play good we can play good now. But it's when that March hits and life starts to get a bit tense where we've crumbled in the past. So fingers crossed we can hold on to this form. And Gyökeres, the stocks are getting down, but I still believe. My Gyökeres stocks are going. I'm not as one. So I still believe in the boy. There's something there still. I think he'll come good the second half of the season, I hope. But now it's good. We got Jesus, and Jesus comes on. That's why it's good to have options now. So options are good, and that's what we needed. So if Gyökeres ain't hitting, we've got I belong to Jesus. I mean, some people saying I belong to Jesus to get out of that fine. Either way, we've got him there. So now we're good, man. It's a good time to be an Arsenal fan, and we just need that title to keep on the consistency. That is it.
Before I throw over to you, Razor, that if Jesus gets fined for that shirt,
it's ridiculous, bro.
They're a fucking. I'm gonna crash on this. They're a fucking disgrace. Why can't you just say that you love Jesus, bro? What the fuck? Like this? If the FA have gone to that level that they're gonna fine about that, and I saw some meme where they've got that incident against Wolves last year where Mosquera's trying to, give man a fucking colonoscopy. And there was no fine for that, but he reveals a shirt that says "I belong to Jesus," and man gets a fine.
Mad.
It's great. He better not get fined for that.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Razor, go on, bro. Jump in. You got to be over the moon with those 2 results and performances.
Guys. I was in the stadium for both of those wins. I have never done cocaine, but I imagine the second half of that Villa game is what cocaine feels like. It was insane. You don't understand. The brother, I usually, like, sometimes when I go to Arsenal, I get my brother in the season ticket. Yeah, the brother that I've sat next to him at Arsenal games like 25, 30 times. Yeah, the most response I've gotten out of this guy is a yes and a go on, lad. Kind of, you know what I mean? This brother hugged me. He kissed the bald man in front of him on the back of his head. It was very PG. It was all very wholesome. I understand it now. It was crazy, man. Like jumping back a bit, I think the Brighton game wasn't the most exciting. It wasn't like I think a lot of the time when we talk about games being exciting, and even when people are talking about Arsenal harambe accusations and stuff, this is all very much seen from the perspective of a neutral fan. Like when you're watching your team win a cagey game, like I wouldn't know if exciting is the word you'd use, but there's plenty of adrenaline there. There's plenty of nerves there. There's plenty of suspense and drama there. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think the Brighton game was one of them. We had a lot of battles and like different like individual bits and pieces. Shout out to Brighton away fans as well, because people have a lot of perception about Brighton as a fan base, and they say a lot of stuff about them, but their away fans are pretty decent and they're absolute shithouses. Like they if you think us booing Emmy in the Villa game was bad. Like, they were on to Leo. And obviously at the Emirates, when you play on the left wing in the first half, he's playing right in front of them. And they were on to him every throw on, every touch of the ball. So it was feisty. And I think, like, you know, with not a full complement of the first team back, especially in defense, I think we did really well to hold, you know, a side that have been a bit inconsistent, but they're still a good side. Brighton are a good side. So I think we did well to hold them there. And the Villa game, I think just so much had been put on it. I think, and that's the thing when we talk about Arsenal fans, when we talk about the trauma, the PTSD, it's the hope that kills you. Like I was saying, it is almost like we feel like we've seen this script before. Like me and my boy, we went to the Villa game at the stadium last season, the season before, and we've seen Villa torpedo the thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was just emphatic. And yeah, like echoing what Io said, I feel like there were so many elements to it. It's the fact that these men have put together a crazy streak and somehow are now in the title race. By the way, Chelsea fans, Villa fans should be an example to you on how you accept being an unexpected part of a title race. None of this, we just want Europe shit. They were like, we're going to win. It was lovely to see, and it made it more delicious to crush their hopes. Like, yeah, I think it was like a big win. It showed the mentality of the squad. Emi Martinez or whatever is a dickhead. I don't know why people keep acting like I don't know. I don't know why Arsenal fans don't like it. He's a prick. Like, that's why he does prickish things. He says prickish things, and he acts like a big baby. And I've seen that people have started like running this narrative about Unai Emery as well. And I'm really glad that we're getting a little taster of Mr. Good Evening being a prick, because he can be he's a great manager. He's a great cup manager, especially, but he can be a bit of a dickhead. He does think he is a bit smug. He is a bit arrogant. And he ran that at Arsenal and it wasn't appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole handshake thing, you big baby, you big bumbling baby. What's wrong with you, bro? And it's like, you can see the side by side. We lost last minute dagger. Our gaffer goes onto the pitch at Villa Park, congratulates the players that just beat him in a game and claps his fans. And Emery's talking about, oh, he was with his... Bro, I love it. Be rattled. Be rattled. You and all of the silly brummies or whatever you are walking around singing London's a shithole. I'm glad that you guys got a day out. Back up to Aston or Tamworth or wherever the F you lot are from. Yeah. And we'll see you next season for another 3 points. Yeah, top of the top. Honestly, best Emirates real life game experience I've ever had. Like, everyone in the stadium was like nervous at halftime, and then yeah, I think when we talk about player performance, I'm not going to talk about Odegaard because I feel like Io's done enough walking it back. I was never as strong in my condemnation.
Settle walking it back. I'm still
walking it back.
Oh, there's no walking it back here. My Odegaard, no, it's just a good vein of thought. It's a good vein of thought.
Brothers were talking about bouncing back before, and I just raised my eyebrows, but cool. Walking back is problematic. Okay, cool. All I'm saying is, if you'd asked fans like Lana to pick the lineup in terms of the midfield, I think you would have had a lot of complaining about Mikel Merino playing in midfield. I think he did. He's not Declan Rice. I don't think anyone in our team, in the league, in the country, in the world right now, midfielder wide, is Declan Rice, isn't it? So if you lose a player like Declan, whoever replaces him is not going to be Declan, isn't it? I don't think Mikel Merino did that badly. I think Zubimendi has been exceptional. I put it in the group chat during the game. I don't know if it was the Brighton game or the Villa game. I was like, watching him in the stadium is unreal. Like, he's everywhere. He's in between the centre backs. He's supporting the midfielders. Like, it's just crazy. The one thing I'm probably in a couple of weeks going to have to do an IO themed or an IO adjacent statement about my support for Gyökeres, because
he's shit, bro.
No. You know what? He's not. I still stand by thinking that he's not shit. I think a combination of things. A combination of things are happening. I think the system. We've talked about the system to death. Yeah, the system is not working for him. And look, if you look, people are like, "Oh, Gabriel Jesus came on and scored in 50 seconds." Broski, look at the two players you're comparing. Jesus has gone and got the ball. He'll do a jinky majinky, give him goal, and then what have we got with Gyökeres? Tap it over the top, shoulder bar, centre back, try win the ball there. And when he's not winning the ball, it's a flop. Or when he's not getting the shot away, it's a flop. But he's usually playing against 1, 2, maybe even 3 defenders. Do you know what I'm saying? I think the system's not great for him. I think he hasn't gelled well, and I think now he's losing confidence. And I think when you look at the numbers he was putting up last season, some of that shit that he was doing was just pure confidence. You know, when you feel like I'm the guy, I can get away with anything, I can do anything. That's what he was doing. You know what I mean? And the confidence is, I was going to say rock bottom levels, but it's beneath the ground right now for him.
It's gone.
It's completely gone. And I'm not going to lie, Jesus coming in, doing that, it's probably not going to help. Havertz's name on the bench, probably not going to help. Mikel Merino can't stop scoring whenever you take him out of midfield, probably not going to help. I feel for him.
It might motivate him though, hopefully. That's the only thing I can hope for, is that seeing someone score, seeing Jesus come in and score is like
making it look easy.
Maybe, making it look easy. Like maybe just something has to click, man, because it's not pretty. And like I still believe, but I'm the same. Like it is tough to watch, man, because you're just like, you need to be like, just get in there, like just look threatening at least. And it just doesn't, you can just see it just doesn't look. Yeah, the confidence is shot, man. And it's sad to see no confidence in the man, because I had so much faith. But I don't think I had faith. I just believed he knew how to score goals. Yeah, it was hope, but I was like, there's no way you can score 100 goals in 2 seasons and not know how to score goals. So the fact he's not even showing like he knows how to do that anymore is like the sad part. But I'm hoping. I haven't seen our team win a Premier League in nearly 20 years. So if I don't have hope in Gyökeres after 6 months, then who am I as a man? I'll be a fake person. I have to have some more hope, mate. Honestly.
Yeah, no, I think I don't even know if, beyond my just obvious agenda and stray shots that I threw in early doors with Gyökeres, they were 2 massive results, especially the Villa one. He's barely even a skid mark on the conversation, really. You guys did so well to beat Villa so convincingly, right? Like they're lucky to. I mean, I know they had some chances, but 4-1 kind of almost flatters them a little bit. It should have been 4-0, really, if you think about it. Raya pulled off a crazy save I saw as well in that game. Unbelievable save again. Got to do some goalkeeping prop as well. He's performing well as he has been all season. But yeah, I've struggled to understand.
When we were talking about him being the best in the Prem.
Yeah,
and people said I was mad. People said we were mad.
I agree with you, bro. I said Raya. Alisson it's like a heritage thing, because he's won a couple Prems and he's performed really well in that previous City, Liverpool era. Right now, Raya has been performing better than him. That's why when we did that segment, I was shocked. People were still saying Alisson. I get Kenwell because he's a scoundrel, but the rest of everyone else, you know what I mean? They should definitely be looking. Well, he's got the Gyökeres stuff right though, but the rest of his things. Yeah. Why? I want to ask you guys quickly before we move on. Is it as simple as Emery and Martinez kind of got shunned by you, man, and that's why they're being S-houses with you? Because I can't understand the Emery. I know he's done it with a few. I saw people were showing some clips of him doing it with Gary O'Neill, and he's done it a few other times where he's been like a little baby and run off down the tunnel. But do you think it is purely the Arsenal links and kind of him feeling screwed by you guys his time there? Why did he just walk off? It was barely even like 5 seconds that Arteta just like high-fived a couple, man, little cuddle. He was ready to shake hands. Like, why was he so rattled? I don't understand. Baffling to me.
Pressure, man. Pressure gets to you, bro. Like, but Martinez is just a piece of crap. So that's just in it. That's just in him. And so that part, I think, with Martinez, I don't think like he's just who he is. I think he's going to be a bit of like no one likes him. No one does.
I feel like we get gaslit with Emmy. I feel like everyone can see that he's an absolute asshole until it comes down to us disliking him, and then it's like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Let's be real. Like, this isn't like a beret getting booed at Selhurst Park, bro. This is what is this dream about Emmy that people have dreamt up? Like, if we're being real, there's a seriousness there with both of them, where both of them had the potential, both of them had the capability to be what Arsenal needed at that point of time to drag us out of our shit period, and neither of them delivered on their potential. Emery is like a fantastic manager. He's got great results in the cup. He took us to a cup final in Europe. We didn't win it. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to sing your name every time you come back? And it's crazy because, bro, again, like I said, I'm in the stadium. Danny Welbeck comes on against Brighton, gets a round of applause, gets almost a standing ovation. People going, "Not today, please, Danny." Like, people act like we treat all of our ex-players badly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Smith Rowe gets applauded at the Emirates, bro. Joe Willett gets applauded at the Emirates, bro. Like, it's kind of crazy that, like, it's a bit gaslighted, the thing with Emmy for starters, yeah. And Emery, I feel like my man he's an underdog. My favorite football content, or my most watched football content that isn't called the Social Media Derby on YouTube, is probably Filthy Fellas, and they had a great discussion about it not too long ago. But basically just comparing Emery and Arteta, and they were sort of like, Arteta started his career in a big pressure environment, innit? Emery had like 9-10 years of working his way up to the level of pressure that he's accustomed to, and he doesn't always do as well when the pressure's at full cooking heat. And I feel like he resents us a little bit because he feels like he didn't get a chance to do what he wanted to do. But, like, you know, look at all the clubs that are on, like, a part of the pod, you know what I mean? Look at the levels that are there. Do you know what I mean? You guys are sacking manager. You guys are calling for your manager's head. Kem went to a parade a couple months ago and he's calling for his manager's head. Reece can barely learn how to pronounce his new manager's name before they get fired. You know, bro, what are you upset about, man? It's like them guys that they had a chance to chat to the Lengting in sixth form, and then they spend the next 25 years of their life being upset about it. That's what man's on, basically. And it's just like, get over it, bro. Good evening. Give us our 3 points. Take your guys back to Tamworth.
I don't know, man. It just seems a bit manufactured. We had this like a few years back under with Newcastle. It never really made sense to me. Like they were trying to get on to us all the time. Oh, you know, don't call yourself United. We're United too. It's like, shut up, man. No, we're not really thinking about you lot like that. And when a big game comes, we generally beat you, like in the Carabao Cup or whatever. It's just feels forced. And Eddie Howe was chirping and chatting all kinds of rubbish about us as well. It's just like
Jason Tyndall.
It's very Tyndall as well. Just very forced, manufactured beef. Like, I don't know. I don't understand it. Like,
I would respect him if he just told another lie, just said he needed to piss.
Yeah.
If he said, I really needed to wee.
Yeah, exactly.
I ran down the tunnel because I needed to wee. I would have respected him more.
There's 50 cameras, bro. Like, you can't force a fake narrative down our throats about this kind of stuff.
But you can, because Sky Sports will eat it up. Sky Sports will eat it up. If it's got Arsenal or Arteta in the mix, Sky Sports will eat it up. You can. They love all kinds of narratives. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they obviously the media guys are gonna try and hype up even more because you've got Arsenal in first and Villa, even though they're in the race. They're kind of like they're definitely the little horse, as Jose says, in this situation. So they're gonna try and hype it up, but I don't really get it, man. I just found the whole thing a bit weird. It was jokes to watch, but I can't really understand it. But anyway, yeah, Arsenal 4 points clear now. Got a chance. I think you're playing today as well. Late game against Bournemouth, so you got a chance to go 7 points clear. I don't know, man. City got a lot of pressure on them when they play tomorrow in a big game against Chelsea. So this might be a big weekend.
Big. We shall see. But they should have kept Maresca for the game, though. And I'm not like his new manager bounce. I don't like that.
Have you seen this, Don? It's like one of us just rocking up and being a manager on FM.
What they caretaker, yeah.
It looks like they pulled him out of a pub in West London. It's ridiculous. This guy's the manager, man. I think we can. If he beats Pep Guardiola, bro, just pack. Just imagine.
He's made for life, mate. Yeah, exactly, mate. He's a pattern, mate. He's a pattern because that is going to be the biggest win of his career. Easily.
I highly doubt it. I'll be shocked, bro, if they get big results. Obviously they will now, but yeah, let's see. Right, let's go on to the United section. So we'll get at least one crash on this pod because yeah, diabolical scenes, man. We managed to beat Newcastle 1-0, but it was like we were fucking Lincoln City away to, I don't know, prime Sir Alex Ferguson United, the way we played in that second half. 10 man behind the ball, just kick it to touch, just try and save ourselves for that second half. To be fair to them, we were lucky we were playing Newcastle, who don't seem to understand what to do to attack, because they were doing prime David Moyes spamming crosses into the area after they took off Altamada. It made no sense. Like their whole strategy was absolutely stunk, and we got really lucky that they had out of form players. Because if it was Bournemouth, for example, we would have held 4 again or 5, because they had lots of half chances. No big chances necessarily that I can majorly remember. I think Gordon had one that flashed across the 6-yard box, but apart from that, there was not much else going on. I think Senna Lamens that was Wolves. Senna Lamens made a really good save, but yeah, it was a very uninspiring game. The goal from Dorgu was decent though, nice little volley. But we've got to roll it back to Aaron Ramsdale's shit, man. I would expect a good goalie to save that, bro. You know what I mean? It was a good volley, but yeah, a better goalie, a proper goalie, probably saves it. But luckily, Ramsdale was in goal, so we got the dub in that one just about. And then the Wolves game, fuck me, man. 1-1 at home to Wolves.
Hey, you guys are amazing.
Not even XG. Not even big chances. Nothing can save me in that one. If you look at those stats, Wolves should have won. Senna Lamens made a crazy double save. Great. I mean, we talk about good saves. He made a really good save in that game to keep us in the game and not give Wolves their only W of the year.
Can you hear what you're saying, Antony? Look at what
I'm being honest,
just...
No, it's the levels are diabolical, but it's just a fact, man. We scraped the win. We scraped the win against Newcastle. I don't want to hear too much. I heard too much praise after that game. Like, that's grinding out results. We were fucking shit, man. Let's be honest. The first half we were decent, and then the second half we didn't even try to play. And then the Wolves game, in total 90 minutes, 95 minutes or whatever it was, terrible performance. And we were lucky that we were playing Wolves. Like probably the worst team in Premier League history. Because again, if we played a more competent team, we would have lost that game.
I don't. Why do you think he keeps? What do you call it though? Switching game. Do you think he's just being stubborn though? Because he keeps switching the game from like his. I think he played 4-3-3 against Newcastle.
He played a back 4 against Newcastle for the first half. In the second half, we were back fucking 7 or 6. It was diabolical. The first half, we were back 4.
That's what I mean. So,
he went back to a 3 at the back. I don't know, man. This guy, I've given up trying to understand what's going on with him, because there's some people out there that obviously like the Nashes and these guys that absolutely hate him and think he's like the devil incarnate, will say that he didn't like all the praise that was being given to the formation changes in the previous games. So he went, you know what, hold that. I'm going to go to a 3-4-3 and I'll prove to you that we can play well in that formation. But it didn't work.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, man. 100%. I feel like it's his ego, man. It's crazy. Like, I feel like he's so egotistical, and it's just becoming like it's such a negative. Like, you guys aren't good, obviously, but like at least you look competent with 4 at the back, and then he just refuses to kind of. I think if he knows he goes 4 at the back and you guys start to perform better, it goes against everything he said for the last year and a half that his system works. So I think now he's said too much about this whole 3-4-3 stuff or 3-5-2, whatever it is. Like, he knows he needs that to work, or he just shows that he's a liar. And so
I mean, well, he said that in the press conferences, hasn't he? He said, like, look, I can't just change a formation because you man say I should. I have to take on all the players are gonna look at me like I'm basically a joker if suddenly I just start changing the formation. And there's elements of that which I agree with, But the problem is your formation. I don't mind that, but the problem is your formation is even worse, bro. So when your formation is
players
worse,
are gonna look at me like a joker, you know.
Exactly,
You already look like a joker, bro.
Exactly, they're looking at you like you're a fucking idiot anyway. So
it's mental.
I don't really understand what's going on, and I feel like there were rumors that came out after some of the really poor results early on in the season that they basically made a decision that he's not going to see out like the following year of his contract anyway. So they're going to keep him as long as they have a chance to get Europa League or top 6 or whatever. But they're going to let go of him once the season ends, regardless. Which, if honestly, lads, looking at the way he's chatting and what he's doing, he's moving so crazy that I can actually believe maybe they've said to him, "Look, you're done out here. Just unless you pull off a crazy miracle, we're wiping our hands of you and you're gone." Because the stuff he's doing, I was shocked that he changed the formation. I thought he's so stubborn, he's never going to change it, and he did. And now he's suddenly changed back against Wolves. Like, Wolves is such a prime game. They're the shittest team in the league. You've just slapped them 4-1 the other day. They're going to sit behind the ball. You need more attackers. You need more attackers on the pitch. And you need more like attacking intent. So why would you go for 3 at the back with a spare man? I don't know what they're doing. And just play the way that we did. And then even his substitutions, again, terrible, man. Like, I know Xerxes was shit in this game. He scored, but he was shit. But you bring on, like, Nepotism FC to come in, and I feel bad for the kid. Because, you know, he's a kid at the end of the day. They brought on, like, Darren Fletcher's one of his twin sons. I wouldn't be shocked if we have, like, a centre midfield of Fletcher and Fletcher going, like, to the next couple of games. Just because I don't know what's going on. He's making crazy decisions, man.
We need to chat about your boy though, Seska Fender, because honestly, that boy is.
I lost it in that game, you know, because I still saw. I had Twitter on my phone while the match was going on, and I saw some fucking idiots as well on Twitter saying, "Look at him, he's getting in good positions." I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this Havertz bullshit with our strikers, right? No offense, right? They need to score goals, man. I don't want to hear about getting in good positions and occupying spaces or whatever. He's missing sitters. Did you see some of the misses he had in that game? He had a header 5 yards out or 6 yards out, and it was called offside, but he was well onside, so it would have been a goal. And like literally, Jose Sarr can catch the ball. That's how shit it was. It wasn't even like a reaction save. He caught it first time because this guy couldn't header, and he's 6'6" or something. Terrible, man. And yeah, people out there saying and copium about his getting in positions and stuff like that. He doesn't look threatening. You talk about Gyökeres earlier not looking threatening. Sesko, it feels like you could give him an open goal, and man would find a way to like do a crazy thing like hit the stanchion or hit the bar and make it look good but not score. That's essentially what he's looking like at the moment. And I've got no time for that, man. He's got to score goals. Like some of the chances he's missing are they're gilt-edged chances that you should score. There are no excuses.
You need to trade them to the Golden State Warriors.
Bro,
you man could use you. No, you're not getting Steph Curry. Relax. You're not getting Steph Curry. You'd be lucky to get Kuminga. Relax, bro. I want
Steph's
the franchise.
I'm hoping that Steph's old, so they'll just, you know what I mean. They could bring in.
They basically said we don't care about the NBA. We're retiring Steph Curry here. Like they're doing everything they can to build their team around Steph Curry. But yeah, Šeško is, I feel like he's been avoiding a lot of, it's almost the opposite of what we talked about the other day. And you got very, very particular about my word selection, whereby like Gyökeres has probably avoided a lot of warranted, valid criticism because Arsenal as a team are performing well. And it almost seems like Šeško is avoiding a lot of, not avoiding, that's not quite accurate, but like the spotlight isn't really on him because Manchester United are performing so mainly inconsistently, but badly generally. And there are players that are closer to the firing line at your club.
And he's been injured a bit, so he's been injured. That's caught him some life. But if you actually take away the injury,
he's signed 2 Premier League players as well.
Yeah, but if you take the injury out of it, you're right. he has kind of. So I feel like some people have gone big on saying Sesko is really, really shit early, based on pre-injury, and then looking at the stats and over time that he's not scored more goals because he's barely played or he's just come on sub or whatever. But if you just look at the performances, people can't ignore it if they are ignoring it any longer. He's missing really big chances. So, like, we're not talking about someone who's not getting chances created. We're not talking about someone who's been a bit unlucky or whatever. Like, some of these chances, they're not about luck. It's about, do you have that dog in you to go, like, finish a chance? And I don't see it in him. He looks like a nice boy up front. I don't want a fucking good boy up front. You want someone who's going to be up front.
A nice boy.
I don't want someone I can bring to like my family and like introduce him as a nice friend who won't embarrass me. For football up front, you want a fucking maniac. You want someone who's crazy about goal.
Sorry, man said I don't want to introduce my striker to my family. Sorry,
exactly.
I don't, bro.
I know what you're saying. I know.
Ryan Giggs said, you want to put him on the side, don't introduce him to anyone.
Whoa.
That's what you want, bro. And I don't have Sesko is, I'm telling you, we'll just go and get another striker. We're linked with fucking Mateta now, right? And
I was joking about the NBA trade, but we should actually do some trading. I feel like man could use Gyökeres to his full potential. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm bro. You think I'm trolling, but I actually feel like man could use Gyökeres to his full potential. You just said you want a guy that's not a nice guy. Our centre forward spends 90. No. He spends 90 minutes elbowing centre backs. I've watched it with my own two eyes. It's beautiful. If he was getting one goal a game, it'd be amazing.
We had that, bro. We had Rasmus Højlund. We've had this striker prototype that you've got.
Don't chat about Højlund like he ain't gone Napoli and started lenging. He's lenging stuff. Everyone leaves you, man, and starts lenging stuff. Everyone's the problem. Never United. Sound toxic. You sound toxic. You sound like some of the women I dated in my 20s.
Bro, relax. Don't compare me to that.
Good save. Good save there. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Nice. The disclaimer very strong like that.
Exactly, yeah. We don't even need Nash, to be honest. We don't even need Nash.
That could have got Messi on a rewatch if not for the 20s there, boy.
I don't know what you man are talking about. I said what I meant. You man are trying to deflect away from my very good point about United being a toxic place.
No, I agree with that, bro. I don't disagree with the toxicity part. But I'm just saying the strikers that we're still gonna be linked with strikers now. You can't spend 75 million or whatever we did on Sesko, and then the next window you're linked with another striker to replace you or come in to give you competition or whatever, replace Xerxes to give you competition. Right?
No, you did at Højlund though. You spent 70 something on Højlund and replaced him with Sesko. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And we said that's bad business. Now, Xerxes was like 35 million. We didn't spend a lot on Xerxes, but regardless, that made no sense in terms of style. I don't know why we got Xerxes at the beginning. We don't play a way that's going to get the best out of Xerxes, who plays as a false nine type striker, off the striker. It doesn't work. But yeah, all round, two really poor performances. I feel actually quite lucky that we came out with 4 points, considering how diabolical we were in both of those games. But our home form has been terrible. I think we've won 1 in 5 or something at home, and we've played Wolves, Newcastle, Bournemouth, who can't seem to beat anyone. We've played West Ham, who are fucking shit, and we've played Everton with 10 men because they're punching each other up. And we've managed to get 1 win out of those games. Right?
This is so diabolical. Good to hear. You guys deserve all of this, man.
And then somehow we're 6th, lads, and we're 3 points or 2 points or 4th or whatever. It's this league. God knows how we're in this position. I know there's a couple of points between us and all the way down to 12th or 13th or whatever. But still, the fact that we've been so poor over the last 2 months, or I don't know, however many weeks, or inconsistent is an even better word for it. I don't know how we're still in with the shot with getting top 4, but the only way we will is because we're playing against Chelsea or competing with us and Liverpool, who we're going to get to in a minute, who are just as bad or almost as bad when it comes to inconsistency. But question for you two, man.
Can I ask you a quick question, then? So obviously you said this league, obviously last season Liverpool pretty much cakewalked it, and we all said that was evidence of the league not being very good. Now it's a little bit tighter. Like people are dropping points, and they're still able to, be up in the mix. If it continues like this, will this be evidence of the league not being strong again, or is it evidence of like what do you think about that? Because everyone keeps saying like this league, the way the league is, but no one's specifying.
I don't know, man. I think it's hard to say. It could be either or. It's either extreme, isn't it? So it's either the league has dropped a little bit, which I think maybe in terms of quality, like you're seeing the way teams are playing now, they're going for PMP, strong. Like look at whole Sun. Like shout out Sunderland, they've done amazing, but their whole like the way they play, they've been so smart. They've just gone. We need to get absolute beasts and fill them in every position, and deal with the physicality. And then we worry a little bit.
Pause, homie. That was a crazy sentence.
Crazy. Example, take away from that moment for 1 second. Example is Brian Robbie up front.
Mate, I wanted to shout him out as well, bro. What a monster.
Bro, what is this guy on? He's absolutely handling every single centre-back that he deals with. Van Dijk's getting thrown about. Diaz was like holding on for dear life in that Sunderland City game. Like he's absolutely smashing up all of these defenders, and that's their style and their model. So you've got clubs that are playing more physically, and so I think the quality is dropping. But in terms of like competitiveness, I don't think it's dropped. I think the league is more competitive now, and that shows with from Liverpool all the way down to Newcastle or whoever it is in like 12th or 13th. There's like 5 points between them. So I don't know. I think it's a cop out, man. When people say, for example, Kem's whole thing about league is
leave him. He's bitter. That man is bitter and he's sad and he has a sad life right now because his team is terrible. The league is not crap. He's just bitter, is what he is. He's a bitter human.
Yeah, I lean towards it's more competitive. I think you've had higher quality levels in terms of the style, but in terms of the competitive nature, it's never been more difficult to beat a mid-table team than in these last 2 years, in my opinion. I'll include last year as well, but this year probably has gone up even more in competitive nature. So, yeah, I'm not buying into it. So I think when people say the league is crap stuff, like Kem's been saying, they've got to be talking more about the style.
That part I can agree with.
Yeah. The fact long throws are back and everyone's trying to play Tony Pulis ball, that is a bit... That is a bit booky, but in terms of competitive nature, I think it's good, man. I think it's good. So Reese is back in the comments. Low balls and long blocks.
I agree.
Question for you too, man. Before we move on to Liverpool, Arteta in or Arteta out? I don't know if the timing on this one is great. It's John B209J.
If you asked me that, if you asked me that 2 years ago, I'd have given you a very passionate answer. But
I'd have started halfway through the transfer window. These man wanted
no,
bloody liars.
No.
They're calling me all kinds of names, John B2. They were calling me all kinds of names, John B2.
Yeah. No. I'll tell you definitely, and you'd be crazy to get rid of a man that's got the team looking the way we're looking right now. But he can still be questioned. He's not immune from criticism. But some Arteta sexuals that we know about might agree with that. I didn't say names, so no one gets offended by that. If you get offended by that,
if Ayo had his way, we would
I'd be the manager
in the pit. Yeah, you would be manager, and we'd look like Manchester United. Let's move on.
Relax.
Broski, you were just talking about how it's never been more difficult to beat mid-table teams. As a supporter of a mid-table team, do you feel like that's true?
Bro, we're sixth. We're bottom of the upper part of the table. Relax. Last season we were relegation team. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right?
So you split the difference. You're a mid-table team.
I don't know, man. Where the table doesn't lie. All right, let's go on to Liverpool. 2 games. Home games as well. 4 points, just like United as well. But again, very uninspiring, just like United as well. 2-1 win against Wolves. They were chatting about Wirtz. People were talking about, this is about, the talent. him and Ekatike, using Salah as the excuse. In the end, Wolves were knocking on the door, man. That could have been a draw at the end of that game. And then that Leeds game was possibly up there with one of the worst games I've seen this season. 0-0. No one looked like they were going to score in that game. And I think Leeds had a goal disallowed, which that would have been the scenes if Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored the winner at Anfield, would have been beautiful on my hater side. But in terms of the actual performance, terrible, man. So I don't know what you, man. Razor, what did you make of these games? I don't know if you watched them because they may have been the same time.
Yeah, I gave him a little look over. I think, you know what, yeah, I've seen, and again, I say this, I try and be fair, and not let my hate blind me. But I do feel like Wolves, it's to be said, like, Wolves have been diabolical. Like, you cannot back away from that. But I do think it's been overstated. They've only been battered like what, 2-3 times, 4 times out of being so bad. They've only been battered. Like, they've had a couple of 2-1s, they've had a couple of 1-0s, they've had a couple of 2-0s. Like, do you know what I mean? And Liverpool are definitely still trying to work it out at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying? So I actually feel like, whilst I would agree with you, like Wolves were knocking on the door, I think that's pretty similar of most of the games where Wolves have respected their opposition this season. Do you know what I mean? Like, we talked about how they didn't respect you guys and they paid the price for it. And then, you know, we've seen what happens when they turn up and they do respect their opposition and they give them a bit more of a game. So I think that fixture, that result, like, get the 3 points. It's not always going to be a battering. The Leeds game. Now, for me, I agree with you. It's probably one of the most boring games of football I've ever sort of seen. I don't know how they got the highlight packages together for it. Shout out the video editors who did that, because that must have been a task. The thing about that is, I don't want to keep. I would love the agenda to be Liverpool are terrible, Liverpool are in crisis, but I think what we also have to do is give credit where credit's due, innit? And I think Leeds have definitely, not just similar to what you were saying about Sunderland, who have figured out their own way to make this bid for survival in the Prem. Leeds are patterning their own version of that. And a part of that is teams like Liverpool. I feel like they're working out a way to deal with them or meet them where the game is, innit? So last time the game was very free flowing, ended up being a last minute equalizer when they played Leeds last time. So obviously this time, I think both coaches have gone in with a natural bit more of fear towards that kind of game happening. They've tried to close down the doors, and we've ended up in a situation which is almost the polar opposite, very much stalemate. Do you know what I mean? I still think it's not like a confidence issue, but similar to United, it might be like a system issue versus belief in what the manager's trying to achieve. And yeah, sorry, just a note on Verts. Shut up, Liverpool fans, Kem, everyone, shut up. Like, getting a goal in, what was it, game week 19, 18? Like, shush. You broke the transfer record. Like, shush. And if it was anyone else, you know what I mean? Like, I find myself almost memorizing Nicolas Pepe's stats this season, because they seem to be really relevant in terms of showing what a flop used to look like. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think Liverpool are lucky, like you said, to have left that sort of period with 4 points. I hate making what feels like making excuses for Liverpool. And the last thing I'll say on this is, I don't think it's a coincidence that the 4 games that were played on the 1st of January had a total of 2 goals between the 8 teams. Do you know what I mean? 3-0 draws, 1-1 between Palace and Fulham. Yeah, I think there's a lot of football, and it's an easy cop out in terms of the football not being very entertaining. But you know what I mean? I don't think that's a coincidence.
Yeah. Also, post New Year's, let's not be naive here. Yeah, people definitely celebrated a little bit on New Year's, I reckon. So they were probably a bit sluggish. It's
good thing Everton didn't have a game, bruv. Jack Grealish wouldn't have been available again.
Bro, well, they left him out for Christmas, and there were all these reports that he went out.
It was bad, didn't it?
Drinking, yeah. The protection ring that that brother has is unreal. By the way.
It's different level, man. That privilege is crazy. May I add though, with the whole words, bro? There is I don't know if you're watching the game, but there's he takes a shot, bro. He skies it, and the camera pans to Arnie Slot, and oh my god, the disgust on his face, bro. I have never seen a man look more disgusted. And I wish I was able to clip it because he turns to the camera and like the eye roll is just generational. It's just like, I don't know what to do with this player. And yeah, it was a terrible. As Ray said, it's just not. It wasn't a good game to watch. Like it just, and I think I agree with the Wolves part as well. I think Wolves are a lot better than, obviously they're a terrible team, but yeah, they don't get battered and they play teams really closely. And like when everyone's saying that we beat them by 2 own goals, yes, it wasn't pretty. But yeah, like when they actually set up, it seems like Russell Martin knows what he's kind of got them trying to play football now. He knows what his idea is for the team, and they'll play you close, man. They're not a good team, but like they don't get battered. So I'm not trying to justify 1-1, just so you know. I'm not trying to justify a 1-1 in any way or form, but I'm saying that it is like beating them should still happen if you're a good team. But I can understand why some teams it's not looking as convincing as some people might expect from a team that's only got 3 points in January. So,
go on, Ant.
By January.
Yeah, no, I do agree. Like, I do agree that Wolves performance-wise, and you guys said it, and I didn't disagree with you when we beat them 4-1, was their setup when they are going away to bigger teams or when they're being a bit more respectful. They don't get their cheeks clapped, to be honest. Very rarely. Like they're losing a game by a goal here and there. So I wasn't shocked that they managed to get a result against us just because, number one, because of that, and also how shit we are. But they've been losing by the odd goal here and there, and definitely against Liverpool. If the game was going on for maybe another 15 minutes, I think they could have got an equaliser because they were actually the only team going for it. So I don't disagree, and I agree with Razor's point on Leeds as well. Leeds have figured out how to play. They were looking really bad at the beginning of the season, but now they've figured out a way to play, and they've got like 2 absolute units up front, Calvert-Lewin and Okafor, I think, as well, and Nemecha as well off the bench. Like they've got like a very clear style that they want to play, and they've got a couple of handy midfielders as well. That play quite nicely as well. So I think they've got
Tanaka.
style. So wasn't shocked at either of these results. Yeah, Tanaka's a good player, but Liverpool, just because the bar of expectation has been dropped on them in such an egregious way, to go from spending 450 to now you're suddenly okay with top 4, we're 3 points clear of United and Chelsea and Spurs. Like, you should have been 3 points clear of Arsenal at the table with the signings that you did and all the gas you were given.
All right.
I also just want to acknowledge Lana's howler in real time because Russell Martin.
Go on.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that was poor. That was really. I was. Me and Ant were both like, huh?
Wait, who's the Wolves manager?
Rob Edwards.
That's what it's meant. That's the one, man. I knew it was someone. That was what I meant. You knew what I meant, man. Get out of it.
No, I knew what you meant, but like, I just want to let viewers know that.
No, I appreciate. You know what? I appreciate that.
Seriously, and we don't share Lana's sentiment that all white men look the same. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I apologize. But also, man, to move when Kem says the league is crap, may he also point out the fact it's Liverpool that is crap that is contributing to that factor. Like, that is why it's so rich coming from him. Like, we cannot say the league is crap when his team's actively contributing to the crapness right now. He's allowing them, as you said, the bar has been dropped so low that they are and the criticism is so minimal. If any other team, if it was Arsenal, if it was United, well, United get criticized anyway. If it was Arsenal, let's just say, and we spent 450 mil and we were looking as bad as they've looked, my God, would the media be crucifying us right now? The fact Liverpool have been able to get away, it's crazy. They're the
biggest contributing factor to that phenomenon that he's talking about, or that people are talking about, in the sense that you won by a comfortable margin. You're meant to be the favorites. You are in, I don't even know where they are. Where are they? 5th? 6th?
Yeah, I think 50. Yeah.
Something like that. You broke the transfer record twice in one window. You signed like the second top store. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you've done all these things, and this is what's happening. So it's like, if that's a sign of the league not being good, I don't know, innit? We're basically doing similar stuff to the stuff that we've done for the past 2 seasons. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't know if our consistency can be, or a slight improvement, our consistency can be labeled as degradation in standards.
Nope.
But the Liverpool guys not even here, and we're letting them dominate a little bit too much conversation for my liking. They suck. We should draw a line under it.
Yeah, let's move on from that bummy team. All right, let's go on to the previews then. Game week 20. But before we do, update on the prediction league. So for the audio listeners, Reese is still top with 68 points and 12 correct scores.
Because of technicality. He's top by technicality.
Io is second. Also, Io is second.
No second. 1A. I'm going 1A because
you're second. You're second.
You're second.
Crazy.
You're second, broski. You're 68 points and 10 correct scores. So there's 2 correct scores difference, goal difference in between you. That's why you're second. Kem is third with 67 points and 11 correct scores. Razor is fourth, 64 points, 8 correct scores. Johns is fifth, 63 points, 8 correct scores. I'm sixth, 59.6 correct scores. Nash is still bottom, 48 points and 7 correct scores. So yeah, let's get into the preview section then. So we'll start off with Bournemouth, Arsenal. Late kickoff today. And Reese has gone 2-0 Arsenal. So Io, what's your prediction on this one?
1 second, let me load it up. I have gone 2-1 Arsenal. I think Bournemouth have shown they can score goals against anybody. So I can't, it wouldn't surprise me if we concede to them today.
Right, you've gone 2-1. Kem's gone 1-0 Bournemouth, which is an interesting prediction. Razor, what's your prediction, bro?
I've gone 3-0 Arsenal. I do think Bournemouth can score against anybody. But we just got Gabriel back and Saliba back. And I just feel like Gabriel takes everything personally. I feel like he's gonna take the lack of clean sheet. I'm pretty sure the clean sheet went against Villa after he came off. Did he come off? Or did I make that up? Anyway,
no, you're correct.
I think he takes all of that shit really personally. Like, you can see he's petty. He's a very petty man. He's all doing an honest 3-point celebration and that in the tunnel. He's a petty man. I think he's going to take that personally. I think he's playing 90 minutes today, and I think he's going to be on some "you shall not pass" shit.
Yeah,
3-0.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Johnson's gone 2-0. I've also gone 2-0 for the same reason you've just said, Razor. I think Gabriel coming back with Saliba, it just makes a huge difference, both attacking wise on set pieces. Obviously, you can score more set pieces with him involved because he's so important to it, but also defensively. He's got the dog, man. He's got the dog in him, and I think he's going to really want to get a clean sheet because you've dropped a few, you've conceded a few. Because I think the time of you guys kind of that whole Chelsea 15-goal record, we're going for it, drop off happened and coincided very nicely with Gabriel being injured. So I think him coming back should hopefully bring back a clean sheet. So I've gone 2-0. Johnson's also gone 2-0. Nash has also gone 2-0. So a lot of 2-0s there. For that prediction, we'll go on to Leeds United, which is a weird one. It's an early kickoff tomorrow. You don't normally get early kickoff today and tomorrow, but maybe that's because of the beef between United and Leeds, and them being worried that it's going to get a little bit violent, so they've brought it forward. But yeah, Reese has gone 2-2. Io, what's your prediction on Leeds versus United?
I've got that was this early kickoff is real my fantasy again. Completely forgot there was one today. I've got Leeds 1-0 to be fair. So we'll see how that plans out.
Yeah, not shocked at that. Kem's gone 2-1 Man United. Razor, what's your prediction on this one?
Reese, stop copying me. I've gone 2-2 as well.
All right, 2-2. Johnson's also gone for a draw. He's gone 1-1. I've gone 2-2. I think I wouldn't be shocked if Leeds won, man. As is always the case with nearly every one of my predictions.
You sound so
But
dejected.
because this is literally we're at the worst. I mean, we've had some worse times. Last season was one of them. But in terms of our squad depth and the players we have available, form, manager behaving like a fool, this is the worst time for us to go and play a team who are actually on the up.
Yeah.
And are actually fighting for something in the relegation scrap. So I probably was more leaning to a Leeds win if I had to pick a winner, but I've gone for the safe one and gone for a draw, 2-2. Nash has also gone draw. He's gone 1-1. I was actually shocked at that. So considering he went United to lose every game over the festive period, I expected him to go for one in this. All right, Fulham Liverpool. Reese has gone 1-1. Io, what's your prediction on this one?
Damn it, Reese. Yeah, same 1-1 as well. Can see that being a likely result. Fulham's riding a bit high right currently, aren't they? Some good results over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, their form has picked up a lot. Kem has gone 1-0 Fulham. What a joke. And then Razor, what's your prediction in this one?
I've gone 2-1 Liverpool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I just have a feel a vibe. That's what I've gone with.
Yeah, fair enough. Johnson's also gone 2-1 Liverpool as well. I've gone 1-1.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw, man. Fulham draw a lot. And Liverpool at the moment, I don't think they've got the cutting edge. Unless I think you guys 2-1 has got a chance if Hugo turns up. If Ekatike balls out like he has been in the odd game, it's definitely possible. But he's looked a little bit shit in the last couple games. So I'm hopeful that shit form continues. Nash has gone 3-1 Liverpool. So we'll go on to Spurs, Sunderland. Reese has gone 2-2. Io, what's your prediction on this one?
I have gone 2-1 to Sunderland. So hopefully, yeah, bigger way. As you said, Robbie, mate, I need that boy he's the truth. I believe in him. Believe in Robbie. So let him punish the boys, those absolute bastards at home. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Kemmer's gone 2-0 Spurs. Razor, what's your prediction on this one? Spurs Sunderland.
3-1 Sunderland. Spurs are woeful at home. I don't think my cousin is a Spurs season ticket holder, and we have got him on a watch that I'm not going to say the word of because we're on YouTube Live, but we're keeping a close eye on him because it's really, really depressing. They cannot win. They're struggling so much to win at home. They're probably going to flip and bang them at home now that I've said that. But I can't put any level of faith on Spurs at the Tottenham Stadium. That is Beyonce's ground. It is not theirs. They do not play well there.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
I mean, even away now. I don't know if you guys. I didn't even bother watching the highlights. I saw a stat about that Brentford Spurs game at one point. I think it was like 50 minutes in or something. There was like 0. I think Brentford had 0 XG and Spurs had like point something XG. It was like the clearest, most obvious stink fest game to watch. So I completely avoided it altogether. So I'm not even gonna pretend like there was some analysis on it. But yeah, I said the Liverpool Leeds game was bad, but that was probably worse, to be honest.
Stinky.
All right, Johnson's gone 1-1 for Spurs Sunderland, and I've gone 2-1 Sunderland. Yeah, so I think what has gone under the radar as well, Sunderland have 5 or 6 players missing from AFCON, and they're still playing really well. So you got to give them even more credit. That squad building, whoever their sporting director of football is, that brother needs a raise, 10-10, because the way he's built that squad to survive 5 or 6 players going to AFCON and still be 7th or 8th or wherever they are. Yeah, they've done unbelievably. So pick them up. I think they're going to go and they're going to slap Spurs up. Nash has gone 1-0 Spurs. All right, we'll go on to the big game then of the weekend. So it's City Chelsea, the Oil Derby. Reese has gone 3-0 City. I also predicted.
He's suffering.
You said I'm dejected. Reese, I feel
He's
bad.
suffering.
Don't feel bad for him. Don't feel
I
bad
don't
for
feel
him.
bad at all. Yeah, there's a zero pity whatsoever. No, I've gone 2-0. I've gone 2-0 City. Fingers crossed. Like, yeah, not good for them in the title race, but yeah, I just don't see Chelsea being very competitive whatsoever. So yeah, 2-0 to City.
Man's let his hate for Chelsea override the fact that he's in a title race for City. Fingers crossed, City slapped them up.
No, I've gone 2-0 City, not 2-0 Chelsea. Don't annoy me. Never.
No, 2-0 City. 2-0 City, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. My heart,
Cameron's gone 3-1 City. Razor, what's your prediction on this one?
I've gone 3-2 City. I actually think Chelsea, like Chelsea's problems are generally like with discipline, player selection, etc. I think they've been decent going forward, and their recent, like all of their off the pitch and adjacent to that nonsenses shouldn't like do out. It depends on what my man's the caretaker manager has been given a remit to do as well. This was quite like a blind guess from me, because he might have just been told like put together a team sheet, send the boys out. They get told to ball out. They might give us a good game. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's going to be any new manager bounce though. This isn't a new manager. There's not going to be new manager bounce. So yeah, I think City will definitely win. But I think people are writing Chelsea off. They can score goals. They can't win games or maintain a lead very effectively. But yeah, I think they're good for some goals.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. But I said it to Io earlier. This guy they pulled him out from a pub somewhere in West London. He's not serious. This caretaker guy. It's barely someone there. You know, it's just like he could have pulled a fan from the stands and put him there. I've seen his press conference.
Reece James is the manager,
they'll need their leaders on the pitch to get them any sort of result in this game. But I think Chelsea lack a lot of leaders on the pitch. So as much as I rate Reece James as a player, and I rate Caicedo as a player, and I rate Palmer as a player, there's no one in that squad that screams out to me as being a leader, and I can't see how they can do anything in this game. So Johnson's gone 2-1 City, so he's gone still pretty tight result. I've gone 3-1, but I wouldn't be shocked if City run up the score in this game, to be honest, because I think it's prime absolute thrashing. The circumstances Chelsea are in. And Nash has gone 2-0 City. So yeah, we've all gone City wins in that one with varying degrees. But yeah. All right, guys. That's all the previews done. We've gone through the reviews of the game week. So let's see how things go. Tight at the top of the prediction league. Arsenal got a bit of a lead at the top of the Premier League. Let's see how this shakes up. But thanks you, man, for joining. We'll wrap it up here and we'll see you guys next week.